This preview brought to you by Harness Racing Victoria.
Adam Hamilton with you to have a look at one of the biggest harness racing meetings in Australasia. It's Breeders' Crown semi-finals night at Ballarat tomorrow night, and we've got stars from all around Australia and New Zealand descending on one of the best tracks harness racing has to offer at Ballarat. Newly renovated, fantastic track, great surface, and some of the best stars you will see in action in harness racing. We've got a lot to get through, so let's get straight into our preview. We start with a 2-year-old Colts and Geldings semi-final of the Breeders' Crown. It's the opening event, the first race coming up just before 6 o'clock, so a pretty early start for Saturday night harness. And in the fixed odds market here, it's been all about this huge support for Team McCarthy's Bling It On. Beaten at $1.10 at Melton last week, very heavily backed to win this semi-final and beat the Buzz Kiwi, Our Maxim, for Barry Purdon and Tony Herlihy. Another of the Kiwis for Mark Purdon, Massini, is the only other one in contention at $4.50. But Bling It On, very heavily backed. Going to have a look at my thoughts on the race and also a replay of my top selection. It is Our Maxim. I'm going with this Barry Purdon trained youngster. He comes through the Harness Jewels series where he ran second to Our Sky Major on this occasion. We're going to pick up the final stages of the race. Our Maxim's doing the work and Our Sky Major pounces. It's a quinella for Barry Purdon. We've seen Our Sky Major already in Australia. Keep your eye on Maxim, as he's called over there. He's in second spot at the moment.
It's All Black Stride in front. Little Maxim's getting up the Better's Delight passing lane. No, Maxim's gone to the lead. All Black Stride comes again. Sky Major drives at the pair. They hit it. Sky Major's rolled Maximus and All Black Stride. What a win. And then Isaiah next in.
Yeah, well, Our Maxim did a lot of work there, and All Black Stride's an outstanding Aussie youngster. The form matches up nicely for this horse. I'm not underrating Bling It On, but he's got to come from the back row. Our Maxim's got very good gate speed, and Barry Purdon has said publicly he doesn't think there's much between Our Maxim and Our Sky Major, who was brilliant winning a repechage of the series. Our Maxim beat Our Sky Major in a qualifying heat, and I'm going to go with him with a ring of confidence. So I think there's a great chance he'll roll forward and get the lead to beat Bling It On, who is outstanding. No doubt he was disappointing, albeit that the winner clocked some sensational times at Menangle last Saturday night. He should have won that race. His previous form was outstanding. I do think he's better driven sit sprint. Whether he can be driven that way with a lack of depth in this field is a big question. Massini's consistent, but I think he's a length or two below the very best. And Bespoke Artist has not lived up to that early season promise he showed, but he's got to be respected even though he's got an awful draw. So Our Maxim just ahead of Bling It On for me in the opening race. Let's go to race 2 now. This is for the 3-year-old fillies, and the best 3-year-old filly in Australia this season, no doubt, has been Frith. She's had some pretty good draws later on in the season. They've been helpful. She draws beautifully here from barrier 1. She's $1.15. Now, Delightful Christian is a classy ex-Kiwi, now based down in Tassie where her owners live. She's at $7.50 and will follow out Frith and sit on her back and look for Daylight Late. Our Femme Fatale at $10. Get Your Wings Out at $13. And another of the Tassie runners, Nola Mayhem, next best at $21. I'm going with Frith. And you've got to. She's short, she'll lead, and she'll probably win. It's a while since we've seen her at the races. I think whatever she does, she'll certainly derive benefit from. Now, Delightful Christian's going to sit on her back. Frith is a better filly, but Delightful Christian will get the absolute gun run. And if she can see Daylight Late and she's only got a sprint for about 150 metres, I think she can really make a race of it with Frith. Get Your Wings Out has had a good season. She's not quite in the Frith class. And Our Femme Fatale is tiny but consistent in this competition. Frith for me, just to beat Delightful Christian. I want to take you back to Delightful Christian's run. This is back in the Harness Jewels. We had a look at that Harness Jewels final involving Maxim and also Our Sky Major. Now, here she is. She's sort of held up in traffic here, Delightful Christian, and she's looking to see Daylight at a crucial stage. Look, she gets out and she runs home okay without getting carried away. I thought her performance was good enough. She's chasing home a very, very good filly in Adore Me, and she certainly does enough to keep me happy in this race. She finishes about 7th there in the blue and white colours of Mark Purdon. Big drop in grade other than Frith. She'll get the good run. I thought she was the value bet at around the $7 or $8, even though I haven't tipped her on top. Hard to tip against Frith, but if you're looking for value, it could be with Delightful Christian in race 2. Let's go to the third event. This is not one of the semi-finals. It's for some of the best mares that have come through the Breeders' Crown Series in their careers, and there's not many better than Broadway's Best. She's a $2 favourite. She's the star on the wane at the end of her career, and Better Give It is the young star on the up. Clash between the old and the new. Broadway's Best $2, Better Give It $2.80. Victor's Delight, who is an ex-Kiwi, at $6, then Flying Pocketlands. I'm going to go Broadway's Best. Better Give It's just got that awkward inside back row draw now. I'm going to go for Broadway's Best on top, but only just to beat Better Give It. In for third, Victor's Delight, and then Flying Pocketlands. 10, 8, 9 and 6 for me in race 3. Now we go to the fourth event, and this starts the quaddie. And I'm pleased to say that tab.com.au has got behind this for the Victorian punters. There is a $20,000 jackpot to the quaddie pool on races 4, 5, 6 and 7. $20,000 kickstart into it, so even more reason to get involved on a night where we might be able to cut costs. I'll give you a suggested quaddie in the summary at the end of this preview. Now, in this race, let's have a look at the fixed odds markets. There's been very good support for the Tasmanian Derby winner in Ginger Bliss. This is for the 3-year-old colts and geldings. This is the weakest of the two semis by a long way. Ginger Bliss has been crunched. $3 into $2.40, $2,500 bet at $3, $1,200 at $2.80. Parish Cootie across from Tasmania at $4.20. Must Be Nice was good and strong last start at $6. Magnificent Art at $7.50. And the value, I think, is Echevarria. Awful draw, but $12 looks big overs to me. I'm going to go for Ginger Bliss on top. He ran home in brilliant sectional times from back in the field to win his qualifying race. He's not quite up to the big leaguers, but he's the one to beat. Must Be Nice was terrific last start. Echevarria drops back from racing open age city class to the 3-year-olds, and Pachacuti has certainly been doing enough in Tassie in some pretty good races. 10, 11, 13 and 6 for me in race 4. Let's go over to the fifth event now. And here we see this Buzz Kiwi, the stablemate of our Maxim from race 1, the horse we saw who won the Harness Jewels final in our Sky Major, and he is an easing favourite here. There's been a big change in the structure of this race. The scratching from inside of one of the roughies from inside the back row means that Let Us Rock Them, who has been heavily backed pre-post, comes out behind our Sky Major. Now, he'll sit on his back. He'll need to see daylight at the right time, but it does change the structure of this race. Our Sky Major, $1.50. Brilliant winning his heat at Ballarat. All eyes on us, the stablemate of Let Us Rock Them, third pick at $7.50. Want to go back to this replay of our Sky Major. We saw him win the Harness Jewels final. Let's go back to his repercharge at Ballarat. He got a nice run in front, but he rips home. He's got a pretty good horse sitting on his back here in Bespoke Artist. Look at the ease and arrogance of this win by our Sky Major.
But our Sky Major leads at the 50, untouched, he's doing it well, now reined up by Purdon, extends beautifully, the star New Zealander wins easily, our Sky Major beat Bespoke Artist, Hector JJ a gallant third, Tabithan fourth.
Yeah, he was brilliant there. He ran home in one of the quickest last quarters we've ever seen at Ballarat for a 2-year-old. He'll improve on it. He's got the draw to lead again. He'll have Let Us Rock Them sitting on his back, so he's the main danger. Let Us Rock Them is easily the best performed 2-year-old in Australasia this season, but we'll need luck from inside the back row. All Eyes on Us is a bundle of talent. He was just okay winning his heat. He can improve on that. And Major Secret is drawn right next door to our Sky Major and can be competitive. But our Sky Major on top for me because of the barrier draws. And in that race, he has been well back. Biggest bet, 4,250 at the $1.60 on our Sky Major. But let us rock them now. He starts from inside of the back row. Certainly commands respect. Let's go over now to race 6. This one for the 3-year-old fillies. And again, the barrier draw has been decisive. I'm Smouldering, clearly the favourite at $2.10. Looks the leader. Montana Marie is a good beginner next door, but I'm Smouldering at $2.10. Safedra for Crandell-Getty, a Kiwi, will sit behind I'm Smouldering if I'm Smouldering leads. That makes her the main danger. Montana Marie next at $6, and Holly Madison, another of the Kiwis, at $7. On the markets, we did give as much as $2.40 I'm Smouldering. Very well backed in the fixed odds markets. I'm going for I'm Smouldering on top. I think she's improved as the season's gone on. Frith was good enough to sit outside her and win the Victoria Oaks. To be honest, I don't know if Frith could do that now. I'm Smouldering has got better. Safedra will sit behind her. The mail on Safedra is that she's probably stronger than she is fast, so maybe sitting leaders back won't be absolutely ideal for her. There is no sprint lane at Ballarat, remember. No guaranteed run along the sprint lane from behind the leaders back. Holly Madison in for 3rd and the Queenslander Montana Marie for 4th. 2, 8, 5 and 3 in race 6. Let's go to the 7th event now. This one for the 3-year-old colts and geldings. Well, the biggest disappointment, we've had 2 of them, in fact, over the last week. Firstly, Majestic Mac came out of the 3-year-old colts and geldings division. He's the Queensland star. And then Border Control had heart fibrillation after a track workout yesterday and was scratched from this semi-final. It really does look as though a bit of a legend will just turn up and win now. He's $1.15. We took a $10,000 bet on $1.30 for him to win this semi after Border Control came out. $1.15. Nowitzki is on the rise. Geez, got some potential, but he's drawn the back row at $4.40 and pretty much forget about the rest. Over to the selections. Bit of a legend. He's been well back to win the final. He is outstanding. He's been so tough in his recent New Zealand wins, and he's performed well in Australia before. Bit of a legend on top. To beat the rising star in Nowitzki, who's been terrific. He looks so much more of a complete racehorse this preparation. Chili Palmer was good after making a mistake in Tasmania. He had a good run and he did what he needed to in a reportage of this series. And then Almost Our Eagles got a nice draw and enough early gate speed to use it, but should just be a matter of how far for a bit of a legend in race 7. Now we go to the last 2 races for the 2-year-old fillies, and disappointingly short on numbers in this particular series. Let's have a look at the fixed odds market. In race 8, the first of the semis for the 2-year-old fillies, Mindari Pretty is the favourite in the fixed odds market for race 8. She's been well tried. We've taken bets of 2 bets of $2,000 at $1.90 and a $5,000 bet at the $1.90 as well. Mindari Pretty at $1.80. Tiamo Bromac at $3. Our petites were at 10 with the speedy New South Wales visitor Majestic Amy. Look, Mindari Pretty was stunning early in the season. Little question mark on whether she's as good now. She's had a few little hiccups to overcome, but on her best form, she should win this one. Tiamo Bromac has been costly in 3 odds on defeats for Mark Purdon in Australia this campaign. Majestic Amy is the blowout chance here. Gee, she's got a lovely kick of speed. If they work hard up front, she could pounce on them late. And then Beach Shack, not quite a 2-year-old, but I like this filly going ahead, Beach Shack. Keep an eye on her performance here and towards some of the better races next season. 7, 5, 8 and 4 for me in race 8. Let's go to the final event. This is for the 2-year-old fillies once again. It's the second semi-final, and it looks a match race between Quick Draft and Where I Belong. Quick Draft has been a drifter in the betting. There's been tremendous pre-post support for a new addition to the Emma Stewart and Clayton Tonkin stable in Where I Belong. $1.80 now into odds on. Quick Draft, who's got all that good form around Mindari Pretty this season, is out to $2.60. Luda's drawn nicely. She's no star. She's honest and drawn well at $5. And then Flag Bearer across from South Australia at $8. I'm actually going to go for Quick Draft here. I know there's that really big buzz around Where I Belong, and she was impressive winning last time out. But Quick Draft has been racing so well without a lot of luck. I'm going for her, number 1, to beat 5 Where I Belong in a match race. Luda the 3rd pick, and Flag Bearer the South Australian I'm putting in for 4th. 1, 5, 2 and 7 in the final event. Let's go now to a summary of this tremendous meeting at Ballarat tomorrow night. My best bet on the program, get it early. The fixed odds, $2.40 for our Maxim. The Little Kiwi for Barry Purdon and Tony Herlihy to pounce on the lead early, control the race and get the prize. Race 1, number 6. Best roughie on the meeting, I thought, came up in race 2. Delightful Christian. I know she's got to beat Frith, but I think if ever she's got a chance to do it, it's sitting on Frith's back when Frith is a little bit short of race fitness. So race 2, number 8, Delightful Christian, could be worth at least an each-way bet. And the quaddie, remembering that $20,000 jackpot that goes into the pool. Want to go very, very wide in the first leg, race 4, for the 3-year-old colts and geldings. Numbers 5, 6, 9, 10, 11 and 13. If we can get Ginger Bliss beaten there, we can get some value into it. The second leg, Our Sky Major and Let Us Rock Them. Leaders back there for me, numbers 1 and 9. In the third leg, I'm going for numbers 2, 5 and 8. That's I'm Smouldering and Safedra. Certainly look to be the key runners there. And in the last leg, now that Border Control comes out, Bit of a Legend should just be winning. So $36 will get you 100% of the quaddie if you stick with those numbers. Can't wait for the action to get underway. I'll be trackside for Sky Racing 1 to bring you all of the live action, the interviews and the news from the Breeders' Crown semi-finals night at Ballarat tomorrow night. Enjoy the action.
This preview brought to you by Harness Racing Victoria.